My name is Pratt, and I never chose this to happen to me, nor did I ever want this in my life. At the age of 3, I was just a youngin', and my family decided that I should go to the doctors because I had these huge tonsils. And my mom said she would look into my mouth and she could see them touching my uvula on both sides almost, and she could tell that they were really big. And so again, at the age of 3, I went to the doctor and they decided that I should get my tonsils removed. And so a few days later, a surgery was scheduled and we did just that. And so I'm in the operating room, and this is what happened that I wish never would have happened. They were operating on my tonsils, so I was getting a tonsillectomy where they burn them out with a cauterizing gun. And a cauterizing gun, it burns the tonsils out, but also seals the blood vessels so you don't bleed to death. But unfortunately, the cauterizing gun was set too high. And so not only did they burn my tonsils, they also burnt my throat, and scar tissue formed. And so after the surgery, we thought I was fine. My family didn't know, I didn't know. I was just young and I was recovering from a surgery. But the surgery recovery took a lot longer than anybody said it would. And I sounded like I had a hoarse throat, and I was still very sick and I had a hard time breathing. My mom took me to another doctor and they thought I had allergies. But my mom knew that I didn't have allergies. So I went to another doctor. And this doctor looked inside my throat and he saw the issue. He saw the scar tissue that was there. And so he did a surgery on my throat to try to remove the scar tissue. Unfortunately, after the surgery, I had a checkup, a follow-up, and the scar tissue was growing back. And so my airway is still very small because that scar tissue is there and I'm having a hard time breathing at such a young age. And this is when my mom was referred to Primary Children's in Utah, a really big hospital. And I now had a new doctor who was trying to find ways to fix my throat. And he was in Primary Children's, and it was a 2-hour car ride for me and my mom to drive up. And I had a lot of doctor's appointments. And so my mom would bring me and my 2 younger sisters, and we would drive up north. And my mom would drop them off at my aunt's house while I went to the hospital. And I would always get so jealous because I always wanted to go to my aunt's house and play with my sisters, and I just never could because I was forced to go to the hospital and to get tests done and to get poked with needles and blood drawn, and I would have to stay the night multiple times to do sleep studies to try to see how we could fix this issue. And so time went on and I'm still not getting better, and the procedures that were taken weren't fixing it. And I just wanted to be done. I was just so sick of it. And I remember telling my mom multiple times that I just wanted to go home. And then I never went home, but I just remember just laying in the hospital bed just wanting to go home. And so then we had one last surgery to try to fix this issue. And it was a 12-hour surgery. And I go in and they treated my throat like cancer. They went into my throat and they cut out a big chunk of the scar tissue and everything that was there. And then they decided to give it a new blood supply. And so they took veins from the inside of my left arm and the artery, and they put it in my throat. And now I have a big scar on my left arm, and I also have a big scar on the on my upper thigh on my left leg. And the surgery, it was able to help a lot, but today I sleep with a CPAP machine. I was put on it when I was 3 and I've lived with it ever since. And a CPAP machine, it blows air at nighttime so it can help assist you breathe. And usually old people sleep with CPAP, but I'm 20 years old and I have a CPAP machine to help assist me to breathe so I don't die earlier in my life, so I can give my heart a rest at nighttime. And I've gone under many surgeries and I have scars all over my body, and I sleep with a CPAP machine every night. I don't enjoy it, but it's a part of me now. And you would say, why don't you hate God, or don't you hate the doctor that screwed up when you were 3 years old? Why are you not angry at God? And I love my Father in heaven so much, and I know He knows me. And I know there are things that we go through in this life for a reason, even though they might not be easy, but there is a reason we go through everything. And I've been able to rely on my Heavenly Father and feel His love in my life as I grow closer to Him, as I pray, and as I read the scriptures. I just see His hand so much in my life. And so we don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future, and that is our Heavenly Father. And I just know we can exercise our faith and trust in Him, and everything will work out. So exercise your faith and your trust in your Heavenly Father.